I'm about to blow your mind.
Yeah.
Everybody's purpose is the same. Everybody's.
Why do you say that?
I've grown comfortable with funerals because I used to sell caskets. Long story. We will talk. We talk about that as part 2. And so when I lost him, that was the only time I ever thought about me not being here. Like that was like real heavy for me.
Yeah. Yo, before we even get into this episode, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, rate, and share. Also, send us an email at raremomentpodcast@gmail.com. We are starting a new segment called The Rare Email. And that's when you guys send us in an email, and me and my guests will read your email about a time you felt happy, mad, sad, glad, or your lowest low, or your highest high, or a time mental health has affected you, or how you're doing right now. And me and my guests will respond live to that email on a podcast episode. You can remain anonymous if you want to. It's all up to you. All right, let's get into the episode. Yo, welcome back to another episode of A Rare Moment with Ramon Reed, the #1 mental health podcast for young adults. I am so excited to be back with another episode, and I have a phenomenal guest today. Super excited. What's up?
I was holding up the #1.
Oh,
I said #1.
It is. It's the #1. I mean, like, it's not proven, but I say it's the #1.
Hey, as long as you believe it, that's all that matters.
It's just affirmation. Like, what are they going to say?
Right.
Yeah, but I have a phenomenal guest today. I mean, he does so much. I started off watching his content on Instagram. I remember the first time I saw one of his videos, my mom sent it to me, and I said, what is going on? I was like, what is happening here? So from there, I started following him. I saw that he's into a plethora of things. We both come from the church. We're in the church. God lives within us. A part of the marching bands, Dollar Watson, many characters. Let's all give it up for Curtis Akeem.
Yes.
Man, I'm so excited to have you on the podcast.
I am too.
Yeah. I want to start.
I'm excited to be here. I'm not excited to have me.
Yeah. Well, I want to start from the beginning. Like when I first saw you, I'm trying to remember what video it was. I think it was
Big Frames.
It was Big Frames. You know what's crazy? I quote that even today. I said that like during Mother's Day weekend. Because my aunt, she had on like these huge shades. And I said, we wear big frames. We wear big frames. Yeah. So that's where I saw you first.
Hold on. So your mom made the intro.
Yeah. She sent me the video.
Shout out to mom, man.
Shout out to Ma Dukes. For real. She's the GOAT.
She's dope.
Dope. I mean, she's not even like an honorary guest anymore. She comes on whenever she wants to.
I feel it.
She'll be coming to Atlanta in the next couple of weeks too.
Oh yeah, so, we gotta make the in-person meeting.
Yes, we must.
Yeah, we
must.
Got to.
But yeah, it started with Big Frames, and then it went on to all the R. Kelly stuff, and then the Robert.
Oh, you was around for all that.
I was around for Robert. Yeah, that was so. I'm curious. How do you come up with these things? Because people ask me that, and I'm like, it happens.
I mean, same answer, bro. Like it's like one of those things to where you sitting around.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Like if people saw how I did my skits, a lot of the stuff is like in the moment, like spontaneous. So I'll be filming a skit and then I'll do something and I'll be like, oh, now let me do it this way. And then before you know it, whatever spontaneity happened turns into something else.
Yeah, I mean, I say that's where all of my viral videos come from. Like the first one that I had that went viral when I was preaching in the chair about not wanting to go to school. Like it just happened.
Do you know what's funny about that? This shows a little bit of our age gap. People, for whatever reason, was like, oh, this could be your son.
What? Are you for real?
You not. People would send me that video all the time.
Are you serious?
I kid you not. That's why and the thing is, I didn't know it was you at first. So then when me and you connected via social media and all that, I was like, this the kid. This the dude. Yeah.
That is crazy.
People send me that video all the time, like, man, this gotta be your son.
That is great. I mean, people still like notice me for it now. I remember I was on I think it was like I was on some studio and like the lady who was checking us in, she was like, Are you the kid? And I was like, yeah, I'm the kid. But what's crazy is like I didn't want that video to be posted. So like with some of you, I didn't want to post it. I was like, I don't want to be seen as like this preaching kid.
Okay, got you.
And then I was still on Disney at the time. And I was like, I don't want to be like seen like that. And
who's responsible for posting it?
my mom is. And
Mom
she posted it
knows.
on her Facebook. I said, Mom, I'm not posting this on my Instagram.
Mom knows, man.
Mom, I mean,
How old was you at the time?
Quarantine. Probably 14.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got
probably
you.
14, like, or just freshly 15. And my mom was like, listen, we need to post this. And I was like, no, Mom, I'm not posting it.
Yeah.
She posted it on her Facebook, and like immediately when I woke up in the morning,
Went
like
crazy.
I just heard
Went crazy.
I heard her talking like
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
living room.
Yeah.
And I just knew it had went viral. I was like, my video went viral. I came out 1 million views. I mean, throughout the entirety of the day, like ran up like,
And you said Facebook?
yeah.
See, Facebook million is different than Instagram
Yes,
million.
it is.
So like Facebook million is like the real like
Yeah, like
million.
Yeah.
Like it's a different thing.
yeah,
It's a
it
different
went
thing.
like in parabolic, literally. Like I
That's-
mean,
yeah.
9 more million views in one day. World Star Hip Hop Shade Room, like it was crazy. But by me not wanting to post it,
Yeah.
like as I've gotten older and I reflected on like why didn't I want to post that, and like what was the driving force in me not wanting to be seen in that light when I had never had a problem being seen in God's light. And I said, wow, maybe this is me. Like, was I denying God, you know? And I just reflected on that, and it kind of like I kind of fell into like a conviction of like wow, God is my foundation. Like church is where I come from.
Yeah.
Like if it could have been genetic, it would have.
Yeah.
Literally,
that feeling.
you
Yeah,
you
yeah,
already
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
And it's like what made me not want to do that, you know? And I feel like that was the start of me going through a lot of the things that I went through, you know, thus far up until now. And me like not wanting to be seen that way. And me, go ahead.
And I think I got an answer for that.
Yeah.
And you probably already have your answer now, but I think the church, and I'm a preacher, I'm a pastor.
Yeah.
People, they'll find that out.
Yes. Yes.
I think the church, while I do love the church, has done a terrible job of placing our talented people. I think we've been taught, or we have taught for so long, that the only way to honor God is if you're preaching in the pulpit,
Yeah.
or you're singing,
Yeah.
not realizing that God wants people in the marketplace. Now, in the marketplace, you are supposed to be set apart. There's supposed to be something different about you,
Yeah.
but you're not supposed to not believe in God at the same time. And I think that's what happens a lot with entertainers is the battle between spirituality and marketplace, not realizing that God had you there for a specific reason.
Yeah.
So long story short, I think the conviction is more so because of what we've been taught. The conviction doesn't come from God. It comes from what people think.
Yeah, it does. And it exactly like it literally stemmed from like, I don't want people to see me like this. But I want you to go deeper into like what you mean as in like having people in the marketplace, like boots on the ground, you know?
I mean, okay, I was just talking to my friend about this because I'm known as the preacher that's in the marketplace. Like people like, oh my, he's a preacher that know all the folk and he be out and all that stuff.
He'll say nigga.
Yeah. And
Right.
so that's funny.
Yeah.
But it's true.
Yeah.
But I think what happens when it comes to talking about marketplace is God wants his people in a myriad of places. And what happens is, yes, you're supposed to use your gifts for the kingdom. But the reason why the church is behind 5-10 years is because we don't know how to send people out to gain knowledge to bring it back. So we think, okay, you have to start in the church. Where it has to start. Now, me and you may have started in the church, but what about the tech programmer? What about the person that owns the studio today? What happens if what the kingdom needs is what he has?
Yeah.
Now, because he hasn't brought it back to the kingdom, because now the kingdom views, because he's been out in the world.
Yeah. He's worldly.
He's worldly. We don't let him in. Not realizing that God says all things work together.
Yeah.
So whether you're an actor, an actress, keyboard player, entertainer, God has space for you and God has use for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think we get so caught up in thinking that everything has to be back to the church, not realizing Jesus was a nomad anyway. Jesus didn't have a building.
Yeah.
Now, that's where we go to do our thing. But Jesus moved around.
Yeah.
And he was with some of the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
So who are we to say that it only has to be this way or it only has to look like this. So I'm a big proponent of, if you are in the marketplace, God still has use for you.
Yeah.
And if not even more, because the pastor, he talks to that local assembly. But people like you, people like others talking to millions of people.
Yeah.
You need to be that light that some people can't be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And for a while, I'm not sure if like you all can relate, but for a while, like I felt like I lost my sense of purpose. Like I was posting these videos and people were loving it. But even still, I was like, I'm not an influencer. I don't want to be seen like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you battle with the same thing. Yeah. But I don't think that's what it is. I just think like it's what's already inside of us, you know. It's like we already have the comedy. We already we have so many relatable facets that people like see within themselves, within us as well. Shoot, I'm trying to think where was I going with this? But yeah, anyway, I lost my sense of purpose. I felt like I lost my sense of purpose for a second. And I was like, wow, I once again started off in the church, but now like since I'm an actor and I've been on these sets and to these premieres and I've been in these parties and I've seen what's really happening, I was like, I have the best of both worlds.
Right.
But I didn't know how to manage
Can I share something with you?
Yeah, please
That's
do.
Probably gonna blow your mind. Don't think I'm texting because I want to pull it up. So
No. Yeah.
So I'm correct.
Also, can we show your case?
Oh,
The case is dope.
You want to give advertising?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Come on, what is it called? Let's give them a shout out.
It's called Clicks.
Clicks. Hey, Send me a case, Clicks. I want one.
I'm gonna send this to them after. I'm gonna send it to them after we get done.
Yeah.
Once we get the clip out. But I'm about to blow your mind.
Yeah.
Everybody's purpose is the same. Everybody's.
Why do you say that?
Romans 1:1, right? Romans is arguably the foundational book that anybody that's trying to follow Jesus should read. Paul's most dynamic book. His work is in here. So Paul in Romans 1:1 says, Paul, a servant of Christ Jesus, called to be an apostle and set apart for the gospel of God. The reason why I bring this up is because notice
He's called.
right.
Go ahead.
First,
The
first thing that we notice is he's a servant first, regardless of anything. So there's an equation to finding out this purpose thing. And it's so easy once you hear it. But I was reading this and I studied this for. So the first thing is Paul is a servant. Before anything else, before title, before anything, I just have a servant's heart. And some transcriptions of the Bible, it even says a slave to Christ Jesus. I'm tied. This is who I am.
Yeah.
Then it says called to be an apostle. This is his job.
Right.
This is how he shows his purpose. But everybody's purpose is to glorify
serve.
God.
Yeah.
Now, how you glorify God and how you show people God is different. So everybody's purpose is to serve and to show who God is. Your calling is what people get confused with purpose. So a lot of the times, to your point, the reason why somebody will say, man, I felt like I was losing my purpose, I didn't know my purpose, is because we put our calling in our purpose spot. So what happens is, because we put our calling in our purpose spot, as soon as God wants us to move from whatever that calling might have been at the time, we now feel lost because we wrapped up everything in the calling.
Right.
But a teacher that retires, does it mean that they don't have purpose anymore? They just moved on from being a teacher.
Yeah.
But the purpose never changed. You're still meant to impact people.
Yeah.
Just because an actor might retire doesn't mean that they're supposed to not have a purpose for God. No, your purpose is still to serve God, because if our purpose and our calling was the same, as soon as you ended or as soon as your calling was over, you die. So a lot of the times, and I just want to stress this to people, I'm gonna look dead in the camera, is everybody's purpose is the same. Now, how you unveil and how you unravel that purpose is different for everybody. You're an actor. I'm a pastor. But then on any given day, we're influencers. Does that mean that our purpose changed? No. Just how we displayed it changed.
Yeah.
So, I ain't trying to turn to no preaching thing.
No, but I mean, that's real. And it opens my eyes to a lot of things as well, because I did put me being and I knew I was never just an actor, and I still know, like, I'm not just an actor. I'm meant here to, like you said, impact people, to entertain. And I've realized that my gift is conversation, is talking. But I put that on the same pedestal as like my purpose. And no, that's just the vehicle to serve my purpose.
Just the vehicle.
Yeah.
Your purpose is to glorify God and to show people God's light. Now, how God uses you to do that, that's calling and purpose is not the same. If it was the case, they'd be defined the same way. They're not.
Yeah, which is like, it just hits so close to home, because when I felt like my vehicle to do so was changing, because I had always done that on Disney or not, I never let what was happening around me and what I was in change my purpose when I was younger, because like, this is me, like, this is all I know. But as I matured and I started to find out more things, I was like, oh, let me change my vehicle. Let me change my tires. Let me get some new rims, you know, oh, I need a new windshield. You see what I'm saying? And things started to change so much that I no longer recognize my vehicle.
Got you.
Now that you put it that way,
Yeah.
I no longer recognize my vehicle, and I was like, wow, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't think I'm supposed to act. I felt like my career was over.
Really?
Yeah, at 18, nuts, right? It's insane. I've been telling this story for at least a month, but I felt like my career was over. And as I let outside influences and people change how my vehicle looked, and lost sight of my purpose, that's when I felt like God wasn't moving as much in my life as he used to. And it wasn't because of him. It was solely because of me.
Yeah.
And even to go back to what we were saying about the church and the politics of the church and the structure of it. I stopped going to church when I moved to LA, which I feel like that impacted me a lot as well.
They say ain't no churches out there anyway. I'm playing. It's a joke. It's a joke. No, it's. I know a few saved folk out there. It's few. It's few. But
I didn't find
it's
it.
a few.
And I was out there for 6 years. I didn't see any. I'm just saying.
There's a few churches out there.
I'm just saying, you'll go to the churches and it's like,
they want to be Hollywood too.
Hollywood so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we might as well roll out the red carpet.
So talk to me, because I'm asking you.
Okay, come on, let's do it.
What is the biggest difference between living in the South, to now being out there? Because I hear LA is just its own thing. So like, how was it? What was that transition like?
Yeah. So
and you're still young, but
so I mean, they know the whole story, but I moved into my first apartment in LA, moved out within a month. And then I decided to move here. No plan. Zero plan. Like what's the here? What's this month?
This is
May? April. Yeah, so I just got an apartment in April. But I moved here in March. So I was just like, yeah, I know, Curtis. Listen, I know.
Wow.
Yeah. So I just got a spiritual mentor.
Okay.
And I had literally my first meeting with my spiritual mentor yesterday. And she was telling me that there's a spirit in LA. And I agree. Because she was just telling me the history, and it used to be called the City of Fallen Angels. Yeah, but that name had to be changed so it could be marketed as Hollywood. Right. So now it's just the City of Angels, of course. And when you're there, like, I love LA. I mean, I love it. I can see the mountains, the palm trees, the beach, all in one day. I can do it all.
Right.
And be in the city. But when you're in it, you don't realize what's coming over you, you know?
Okay.
And then coupled with me, like, feeling like I was losing my purpose, calling, etc. Like, I didn't realize the spirit that was taking over me. And then when I had a conversation with her before I moved out of LA, I was like, wow, I have changed. And not that change is bad, but like the change that I saw within myself was totally different. I didn't feel the same. Like, I felt like I lost everything that I had holding me up.
There was
like
spiritual intervention.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, I need to leave. Like, I gotta go.
Wow.
Yeah, which is why I moved so abruptly, with no plan, because I prayed heavily about it too. I was like, God, this is crazy. I know it is. Is this really what I need to do?
So how you move from Hollywood to Black Hollywood? It's like, I'm just trying to understand.
Look, it just
I'm just trying to understand.
It doesn't make sense. That's why I know it was destined, and I know like it was supposed to happen this way, because it doesn't make sense. Like even the way I got my whole apartment didn't make sense, because I'm not on a TV show, and like you have to make a certain amount of rent and blah, blah, blah. So like I was having trouble. Well, I actually had zero trouble getting an apartment here. But I didn't have like verifiable income to show. It's like,
Gotcha.
this month I'll make this month is that, and it's like, apartments don't like that. But the whole way it worked out, it just panned out perfectly. So when I got here, like I knew a couple of people here, and just the people I've already met thus far, it's like, wow, like you're supposed to be in my life right now. Like, when you're in a space and it's like, okay, like all of this is happening around me, I'm feeling like this. And then you meet somebody who just feels like they have all the answers to what you're going through. However, this is the #1 podcast for mental health for young adults. And I really wanted to have you on because you already know you're like a virtual big brother to me. This is really like our first time meeting in person.
It don't feel like it. You was at the D-Dub class.
Yeah, but like we didn't really get to talk.
Yeah.
So our first time meeting in person, and I know you're a youth pastor. So I said, who better to have on the #1 mental health podcast for young adults? So I don't know why, but the whole time I was driving here, like the word I kept hearing was loss. And I feel I've been thankful to not experience like a major loss in my family. But I've experienced loss of friendships. I've experienced loss of things that I thought I needed, even when I lost them, and it hurt, right? So I just want you to talk to me about loss. And whatever that means to you. It could be a person, it could be a thing, it could be an experience,
Well, a few years ago, I lost my father. And it's a full circle moment in it, so I'm going to start there with that.
Okay.
The thing about loss is it's it's untimely. It just shows up at the weirdest times. And when I lost my father, there was a decision that had to be made. Because me and my father was like this. Like I'm talking about like matching cars, just weird stuff. Me and my dad was real tight. Like we would stay within like 5 minutes of each other.
That's
like we
dope.
was tight.
Yeah.
And so when I lost him, that was the only time I ever thought about me not being here. Like that was like real heavy for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And through that loss, I won't go too deep into the loss, but the emotions itself was, I don't want to be here no more. My dad gone. What I'm gonna do? But through the loss is how strong I found out my wife actually was, and it made our relationship a lot better because me and my wife was in a bit of a rocky place, and I ain't gonna sugarcoat. We hated each other.
Oh my God.
Me and wife was separated. I'm gonna give you the full scope. Like
give it to me. Yeah.
Not living in the same place. We only had one kid at the time.
Okay. What? 3 now, right?
Well, 4. The 4th is on the way.
Okay.
At that time, when she heard my dad die, because she knew how close me and my father was, she dropped everything that she was doing. And just came to the house and just sat with me. And I don't think if my wife hadn't have come, I don't think I'd be here talking to you right now. So I say all that to say, when it comes to loss and how it showed me was in those moments, man, it's always great to have people around you that genuinely love you. And through finding out how much my wife loved me, we ended up making 3 more babies. So it's kind of like,
good Lord. Good Lord.
Shout out to Lexington Hendricks and my new baby girl, LA, our oldest son, Mason.
Yeah.
That's what's happened. But then full circle moment, I just did my first eulogy. I'm not a fan of doing those.
I don't even like funerals.
Yeah. I've grown comfortable with funerals because I used to sell caskets. Long long story.
What?
We will talk. We talk about that as part 2.
Okay. What?
Yeah. I used to sell caskets at funeral homes.
Jesus, how do you sell a casket? Listen, look at this chestnut.
You import the caskets from. You can get caskets from China for like $100 a casket.
Okay.
And then funeral homes. I'm giving away the secret. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, this is sauce.
And then funeral homes, they mark it up to get their money. So
To
you sell
$10,000.
So you sell it to the funeral home for probably like $500, $600.
Okay.
And then they mark it up to wherever they see fit to sell
The
it
funeral home is winning though.
Yeah,
because they be like 5,000.
Yeah, funeral business is booming. But
Yeah.
I get the caskets for around 100, 200.
Wow.
From like China. That was
China?
before.
eBay?
That's before they raised up. Nah, you got to connect. You got to get a connect.
Okay.
That sounds so crazy, but
Yeah.
you got to get a connect.
Casket connect.
And they build the casket as you need
Really?
over there in China,
Mhm.
and then they just ship them to you.
Do you have a CC?
Now that
you
was
got a
before-
casket connect? That's
I got a casket connect.
good Lord.
But that was before they raised the taxes and the tariffs on it
Okay.
coming. So, yeah,
right. That sauce might be done.
yeah.
Okay.
But nonetheless,
Yeah.
so my close friend, he just lost his father,
Okay.
and when he reached out, it was like, Curtis, man, you probably don't want to, but can you do this eulogy for me? And because I knew what he was going through, I deemed it nothing but an honor to be able to stand in the gap for my friend. So I really believe that through my father's loss, it has benefited my life in a way of giving me an experience so low that I don't think I can experience a low like that again. 1, 2, it's allowed me to be able to comfort other people.
Yeah.
And then I created all those babies. So
Man. As a result.
yeah, lost.
That's great. In this
Oh, but matter of fact, not to cut you off, and also
go ahead.
loss isn't a bad thing because I feel like I lost the old me, but I needed to
yeah.
because I wouldn't be here if I was on the path that I was a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? So loss has its duality in life because I firmly believe all things work together.
Yeah.
Scripture says, and we know that all things, and I firmly believe in that. So loss depends on what you get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about like that being the catalyst of you feeling like you didn't want to, be here, like that makes me think about people who constantly exist in
man.
a space like that.
I couldn't imagine, man.
Yeah, like are they? I know people are there for a plethora of different reasons, but specifically on loss, like, are they trying to hold on to something that is old and they just don't have the thinking processes and the emotional fortitude to like let go of that?
That's what I think it is. I think sometimes people just aren't aware of how emotionally layered we are.
Yeah.
Like I think when it comes to people and loss as it relates to like losing a family member, I think it comes more so from just now you feeling naked.
Yeah.
Like the way I can put it is when my dad died, I felt like a child. I felt naked and how am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And I think there's a lot of people that don't know how to move on from it or don't have healthy enough connections to help people move on from it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I do think it's a plethora of stuff, like you said, sometimes wanting to hold on to that security and other times not knowing what I'm going to do now and how I'm going to go on. And I think all that plays a big factor. And it's such a dark place to be.
Yeah.
Like, I remember how I felt when I felt like I didn't want to be here no more. I remember. And it was so dark. It was so heavy and so clouded. I just can't imagine being in that state all of the time.
Yeah.
So like, take this moment. I pray for anybody that's struggling with that on a daily because I struggled with it for just a week.
Yeah.
And I labeled that like the worst week of my life. Like, I don't know how people function like that.
Yeah.
So I definitely put up a prayer for those that go through that all the time. I just can't imagine always feeling like that.
Truly. I definitely think at the end we should definitely pray for them.
Yeah.
Don't let me forget.
Don't let me forget.
Okay. We live in a day and age when people are afraid to admit that they need other people. So when you say the state that you and your wife, like the state of you all's relationship at that time and how she dropped everything to come and comfort you and sit with you and just exist with you, it sounded like you really needed her in that moment.
I did.
Yeah.
And even at the time when she was around, the reason why I knew I was hurt so deeply is because I didn't even have enough room to hate her like I thought I did. Like, she found out that my dad had that heart attack, man.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm on the way. And I know how. She didn't ask, how are you?
Yeah.
She didn't say, do you want me to come over?
She knew.
She said, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what I needed. And I just feel bad for those that don't have that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I had a person. You know what I'm saying? It's rough to think about how I would have gotten through it without her.
Yeah.
That lady get on my nerves, but I love her because
You got to.
she's the reason why I'm here. I mean, by the grace of God sending her, but that's why I don't play about her either.
Yeah.
Like, she'll tell you, like, my switch is her.
Yeah.
Like, just don't play with her because she's the reason why I'm here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
a beautiful thing as well. Because like you said, a lot of people don't, I find that a lot of people just don't feel like they have that person. And there's two sides to that spectrum because I have a friend just last week. And even still, you know, mental health is a continuous battle. But just last week, he was talking to me about how when he wakes up, he doesn't like it. Is what he told me. And I sat there and I talked with him and because I really love him. I love him, his family, like I love them. And I really talked with him and I just listened to what he said. Because a lot of people don't listen. And it's not just listening to what they're saying, it's listening to everything. I'm listening to your jokes. I'm listening to everything you say. It's important to me at this point. Because now you've told me without telling
let me know.
What you're going through. So I make it a point, and that was my first time ever dealing with a friend who's expressed that to me. So I made it a point to really let them know that I'm there. Because we can't control anyone's actions, but I can let you know how much you mean to me.
Right.
And I ended up telling him, like, you know, my love is so selfish that I won't let you go. And in the moment, it didn't hit him, but later on he came back and he said, I really thank you for that. Because just a lot of people are scared to express how they feel with words. Right. And I really feel, I mean, the Bible says the power of life and death is within the tip of the within the tip of the tongue. So I really feel it's important what you say, not only to yourself but to others as well.
And some people are more afraid of vulnerability because I think the world itself is such a cold place. Like some people haven't been afforded the privilege to just melt. You know what I'm saying? Like some people don't know what it feels like to talk about what they're going through and not to be judged. And like I said, even going back to the loss, I feel like another thing that it showed me was sometimes in people's vulnerability, to your point where you said, I hear everything. Sometimes people don't even want to say anything. They just want to know that somebody is in their space. And I'm here if you need me. Because words can't always solve everything, but sometimes just knowing that you have somebody could get them to that next day. Because there's some people that live some lonely lives, man.
They
like,
do.
The person I'm the most fearful of now, because I used to be this person, is the person that say they don't like nobody, say they don't like being around people. I fear those people the most. Because it's like, you don't have an affinity for anybody. Like you don't have an affection for somebody. And then when you dig deeper, you realize because this person has been hurt so much, they've quit out on everybody. And in some ways, because that person has quit out on everybody, you got to also learn how to protect yourself too. Because if they don't have no affection for anybody, who say they have that affection for you?
They don't care about you.
You know, because I used to be the person, I don't like people. Like I don't like people. I'm still a bit of an introvert. But as far as like people, I'll be out. I may look like this.
I know. You be out.
But I'll be out.
For
you
sure.
know what I'm saying? But I mean, even to that, man, it's awesome to hear that you were able to be in that place. Because picture if they didn't have anybody just to say those words. You don't know.
And I know the friends that they have that stay like in their area, because we don't live in the same state. But the friends that they have that stay in their area, they're not there mentally. They don't have that emotional intelligence to really listen, you know, which is why we see young kids, you know.
I mean, 12, 13.
Exactly. Like
10.
taking themselves out of here, you know, for lack of better words. And it's like, number one, their friends can't even comprehend or process or listen. And then it's the parents is so caught up in just providing that they don't even have the time to listen. So I'm super blessed that I had a mom who was always there, even when I didn't want to tell her things, you know. So blessed to have a mom.
So
like
I got
that.
a question for you.
Yeah.
Because I've always wanted to ask an actor this question.
Oh God.
Well, I can't say I always wanted, because most actors I meet are insane.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Most of okay, insane is probably a drastic word.
Okay.
They're not,
But like nuts.
personable. Like it's sort of
okay.
like, I'm not coming at you trying to be like another fan. Like I want to know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And some of them that I meet is just like, bro, I'm really not trying to be a fan, bro. I just want to.
Right.
So I want to ask you this because we built a relationship.
Let's do it.
How have you kept your sanity? I mean, all creatives are a little crazy.
You gotta be. We was just talking about
You know
this.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you gotta be.
But how do you keep your normalcy?
It's
Because some I meet, bro, I'm just like, oh God.
it's your circle. I swear it is. It is really the people you have around you.
And you started young.
I started 11. Yeah, started at 11. Going strong to this day. New Netflix movie coming out August 23rd. Incoming.
Got the plug.
Yeah, got a plug.
Got a plug.
But no, I started out at 11. And because like I had been in school, public school for like my entire life and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I didn't start being homeschooled until 7th grade.
You say didn't start like that's not young. 7th
I
grade,
was-
you were homeschooled?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but I hated middle school. Like, oh my God, I hated it.
Okay.
Like I didn't
okay.
like it at all. However, you know, when
Were you middle school LA or middle school?
I was on the Lion King tour when I was in middle school. Yeah. Yeah. So I was touring across the country.
Was mom with you?
Yeah. She every step of the way. Like this is the first time I've been without my mother here. Yeah.
okay,
Here. Like
okay.
even when I moved out in LA, she 30 minutes away.
Is it LA 30 minutes like y'all 30 miles apart? Or
No,
y'all only
no,
5
no.
miles away, but it takes 30
It's
minutes
probably
to
like
get
9
there.
miles, 30 minutes to
Okay,
get there.
okay.
Which is why I need to get a new car now because I can't keep charging every day. This is nuts. Yeah, it sucks.
Atlanta, we're not built for
Not built for the
we're not
Teslas.
built. Yeah, we're not built.
But like once we moved to LA and I got on the shows, and I started to go to like the events and everything, and people would recognize me. I'm out in public. My mom just made it a point to like keep me grounded, I guess you could say, and just keep me, you know, me.
She seemed like a mama that don't play.
No. She plays, but like she don't play. You
Nah,
know what
I
I mean?
get you.
Like, yeah, we can joke.
Yeah.
But she's
seemed
not
like,
about to play with you at all.
like you're her son. You're my son. Like,
Yes. And that's it. Yeah. No matter like what like feats I accomplish and what heights I reach.
You still my child.
Yeah, I'm always her son first. And she's made sure to protect me as her son.
Good,
Especially, you know, from the industry. So when you see things like Quiet on Set, like I really feel for those kids. When I watched the documentary, I almost like was brought to tears, but I've never experienced it because I've always had a mom who made
I
sure.
didn't want to ask, but I wanted to ask.
No.
Like, you
Oh
know,
no, not me.
I was like,
not me.
hey, you know,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you off air, but since you,
Yeah,
you know,
what Rick Ross say? No, sir, not me. But as I got older, there was moments like really when I turned 18, the first couple of months, there was moments when you know, like you're that young man.
Yeah, man.
I got a little money. I'm feeling myself.
I remember 18.
Yeah,
man.
you know, I'm out here. I'm splurging whenever I want to.
Yeah.
All of that. You know, to God be the glory. But there was a moment when I was like, I'm gonna do my own thing. I got it. I'll figure it out. Which I have done my own thing. I didn't have it, but I did figure it out. I did figure it out, and now I'm listening to my mom. What's crazy is I got a Cane Corso puppy 2 days ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and
You just trying to just live a different life.
No, I took it back yesterday.
You did? Are you serious?
Curtis,
Why, man?
Because my mom told me to.
Why?
Because she was like, Ramon, well, I told you what my schedule is like for the end of the month. And then
the puppy, that puppy in particular,
yes,
you gotta rear them early.
Yes. And I have
want
to be
one.
there.
I've done my research on them, but I know you gotta have the time because if not,
and I don't
they're
have
gonna
the
run
time.
all over you.
And my mom, I mean, I called her in the morning, yesterday morning, and I mean, she gave it to me. Like, Ramon, why would you get that dog? You know you don't have time, da 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 da. And I was like, you are correct about it all.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, let me. I named her CC Sugar Reed.
So you took it back to the breeder?
Yeah, took it back to the breeder.
I mean, I guess 2 days.
Yeah.
2 days.
It was one day. It barely 24 hours, but I loved her. I mean, she didn't want to leave. She didn't want to leave. Oh, I miss her. Anyway.
Got a dog, took it back.
Got a dog.
We've done that before. We took
real?
the dog back to the Humane Society.
Really?
Yeah, man. We just no. It's a funny story. My wife see this. Okay, we got this dog named Benji.
Okay.
And okay, I hate when people do this because it's funny. But anyway, so we had got the dog, and the dog had something called like kennel cough or something.
Okay, yeah.
And so I remember all night. Okay, we was joking because we was like, man, this dog is like really calm. Like it just got to the house, it's just laying around, and we just like, this dog too small to just be chilling. And the dog would just, and I'm just like, bro, something is wrong with this dog.
Yeah, that preacher whoop.
So we take the dog to the vet. Now, mind you, my wife really wanted this dog. Now, my wife is dirt road country.
Okay.
They don't believe in dogs in the house. So I'm like, how all of a sudden do you want a dog? But let's go ahead. So we get the dog, whatever, take the dog to the vet. Like, yeah, the dog, you know, we don't know exactly what. And so the dog in the middle of the vet, like, had runny butt. That's what we'll call it.
Oh,
went crazy. I was like, we're not keeping this dog. Now,
the Lord, though.
She's like, no, we got to keep it. We're going to take care of it. I said, all right. They brought that bill out and said, hey, you know,
hey,
it's going to be like $1,500, $2,000.
For what?
To like the meds and all that stuff. No. It has some kennel cough. Basically, dog flu.
Oh, my God. $1,500?
Yeah, I think it was more than that. By the time I was like, man,
no,
I didn't know $1,500. So we ended up taking the dog back.
Yeah.
And the dude at the front was like, see, I really going to bring the dog back? It's like, yeah. He's like, well, give me the damn dog then. Like, he was so upset.
Yo.
He was so upset.
What?
Yeah, man. My wife and dogs are hilarious because we ended up finding another dog, like a pit bull puppy. And I was like, if it follows us home, you can keep it, right?
No way.
It follows us home.
No way.
She goes out and buy all of this stuff, right? Like the cage and all that stuff. And so then now, mind you, the dog will listen to me. So I will walk out in the mornings, take the dog, no leash. Dog will just follow. So my wife walks the dog out one day, comes back in the house. I'm much like 4 a.m, so I don't know. So she heads to work, and I'm like, yo, where's name was Cash. I was like, where's Cash? She was like, I walked outside, it ain't come back.
What?
Yeah. And now my wife has the nerve right now to want a teacup Yorkie.
What?
Yeah, bro.
Y'all won't even be able to see the teacup.
Not at all.
And y'all, a new child on the way too.
Yeah.
What is happening?
My wife, when it comes to dogs, she just sees it and don't know the work to go into it.
Yeah.
So that's why when you talk about the dog, it's hilarious because, yeah, man.
And I was in the same place, and then I was like, this is about to be 120-pound dog.
Yeah, bro.
Like, these
might
vet
be
bill
more.
might be more.
Cane Corsos get up to like 2.
Yeah. And I was like, this vet bill, like, I can't.
And they need the space.
Yes.
They need to.
And I only have a 2-bedroom apartment, which, I mean, that's good enough for me and the cane. That's 2 people,
they
literally.
Need space, bro.
Yeah.
They
run.
gotta move.
They got
to move.
So I was like, I'm just not equipped right now to take care of this.
So what made
dog.
you go and get it? You just was like, yo.
The opportunity fell in my lap. Me and my friend went. My friend got one as well. They were brother and sister. So I was like, you know what? Let me get one.
And then. Is your friend here too?
Yeah, he's here. It's Jalen. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And then so you just like, we just gonna have matching dogs.
Yeah, yeah. You know, like I'll show you a picture actually. I mean, beautiful dog, man. Beautiful dog.
Would you just go get a dog?
Beautiful. You can scroll through.
Nice dog.
I mean,
which way am I scrolling?
To the left.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
You really had the
gorgeous
dog.
dog. Yes, she is gorgeous. I'm
Nice
telling you.
sneakers. I see the sneakers you got
Yeah,
on.
come
I
on.
see the sneakers you got on.
Yeah, but shoot, just to go back to loss real fast, because I was thinking and I was like, wow, when have I experienced detrimental loss? And it was the loss of my innocence when I realized I was no longer like a kid.
I was trying to figure out where you was going. 'Cause
Yeah.
The loss of innocence.
Yeah,
that's
whoa,
such
yeah.
a-
Let me specify. Let's relax.
Like,
no
like,
diddy.
Where?
Where?
Like, where is this? All right, we gonna go. Okay.
No, but it was the loss of my innocence, and I was like, dang, I'm so, because I've always been, more mature for my age, but now it's like I'm so
You're an adult.
aware. Yeah, and I don't like it.
Now, to be honest with you, I don't envy where you are at 18. I didn't get my first apartment on my own until I was like 25. Like the rest of the time, I was at home with pops or at home with moms. Like I couldn't picture living on my own at 18, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I wish I could be at home with mom or at home with pops.
That's like when you say you have your own apartment at 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I probably would have had a lot more kids too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably had a lot more kids. But
That's just how it happens,
bro.
Listen.
But how you liking? I mean, your fans know where you are, right?
Yeah, they know.
So how
I'm in
you
Atlanta.
liking Atlanta though?
I love it. I mean, first 2 weeks down here, I met my girlfriend. I mean, we had been friends for like years. And I went to her house. I was just like, hey, yeah, let's hang out. Because I had texted her, but I was like, hey, let's hang out.
So
but
you literally moved here alone?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to just wrap my head around.
I'm a strong guy. Like, I don't know if y'all know that I'm very strong.
Like you moved here alone.
Alone. Like mentally, like I'm
no, hey homie, let's move to Atlanta.
No, it was me. And I had to figure it all out.
But you have people here.
Yeah. I have people here.
as far
Mom,
as you
4 hours away, which is still like a long time. But like I have a very small village, tight
How does
knit.
mom feel about you being here and her being there?
She likes me being here more than LA. Because it was going to be her in Charlotte, me still living in LA.
Oh,
and I
okay,
made the
okay,
decision to be
okay,
like,
okay,
no,
okay,
we're not doing that.
Okay.
So like we all moved back to the East Coast together.
Was it like, okay, you're grown now, so I'm gonna go back home?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Mom don't like LA?
No, she does. It's just it's expensive. And like
I've heard that.
Yeah, I mean expensive.
I've heard
like
that.
I mean for
Dollar
me
definitely goes further here.
You said what?
Dollar definitely goes further here.
Yes, which I love. And I was like, you know what? I should move here. I can meet people. I'm still in like a Hollywood-esque space. Just a space for entertainers and creators. And I was like, this is the best space to be in. And you're 4 hours away, Mom. And she was like, yes, let's do it. And I said, okay.
She ain't want to come to Atlanta?
I want her to. I really want her to. and no lie, she just got a new job. But dang, she can't. She just got a new job and she has to go into the office 2 days a week. Dang.
Unless you send her home 2 days.
That's a lot. That's a lot. But I'm trying to get to a financial point where I can pay her 6 figures a year. And she says she'll leave her job. So that's what we're really grinding at the podcast.
It's gotta be 6.
It is for me. It's a me thing. She didn't ask. I want to be able to provide her 6 figures a year. I feel that I'm trying to be full time. Listen.
My mom lives here.
Yes.
So she right down the street. I can help, pay a bill or
Right.
two.
That's perfect. That's perfect. But for me, I'm gonna have to cover all costs.
Yeah.
And I already said, like, my love is selfish. Like, if I'm paying you that much, you're not giving your time to anyone else, or like any corporation, outside of Double R Productions, right? But yeah, I mean, shoot, that's all I had, Curtis. I feel like we've had an amazing conversation.
We have one more question.
Yeah.
One more question from me.
Yeah,
Now that you've been here for
Yeah.
a month and a
yeah,
half,
like a month and a half.
what have you gathered from Atlanta already? Because there's Atlanta,
Yeah,
and then there's Atlanta.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when we say Atlanta, like I say I'm from Atlanta. I've never lived in the city of Atlanta. But I'm from
Okay,
Atlanta.
you from Atlanta?
So have you met any Atlanta people? And
Yeah.
have you met any Atlanta?
Oh, I've met them all. Like,
What do you got?
I've been outside. I've been outside. I'm from Atlanta.
Atlanta is like me.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Atlanta.
Oh, listen, yeah, that's the skinny jeans. That's the feet poking out like this. Yeah. So what I've gathered from them is just like you can't help your environment until you decide to make mentally decide to make a change.
It's funny, but it's true.
Yeah, nothing against. Like I swear I love everybody. I'm just saying, like you're just a production of your environment. Like, why do we all have on these tight Amiri jeans? You know what I'm saying? And then from Atlanta, it's a lot of I stay here. I'm in the Sky Rise. I'm at corner unit. It's about appearance a lot with Atlanta. Always about their bag though. Certainly, always on their business.
I just need people to know that there's a difference.
Yeah.
Because people here in Atlanta and think everybody trying to scam.
No,
Everybody trying to look rich.
No.
But it's still some civilized people.
No, it is. It's regular people out here for sure.
What I need.
Yeah, it's regular people in Atlanta for sure.
I myself regular. People say I'm not, but I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
Away from the skits.
Yeah.
And what I do, bro, when I go home, I am husband, I am father, I am preacher. Like, I am a regular person.
Yeah.
And people just assume I'm just some. Are you from Atlanta?
No, I'm the same way. Like, I don't know how, but they're able to tell that I've lived in LA at least. No, not here.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Because of the age?
Yeah, I just look older.
Okay.
Because I know people still watch my stuff, I just look a lot older from those projects, and I haven't had like a new project come out in like the last 2 years. So exactly, I have August coming up. A lot of new stuff coming up. A lot of new stuff. Yeah, August 23rd. My new Netflix film, Incoming, is coming out. Listen, rated R. It's a rated R film. Oh.
Is it horror?
No, it's comedy. It's comedy.
You doing a rated R movie?
Yeah.
Are you cussing? Are you serious?
Oh.
You doing a rated R movie?
Look,
bro?
if I'll cut this out. If you want to see it early, you can come to the crib. I can screen it for you. It's because Netflix gives us the movie early, and I put in the pen, bro. It's nuts. It's nuts. Like,
I got
it's bad.
Okay.
Yo, like Super Bad or like 20. Yeah, worse.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Are you ready to leave the child stuff alone? Because that comes out, that transition.
Yeah, it does. It has to.
Do you feel any apprehension? Oh, it's done now.
No, I mean, and I filmed it like 2 years ago, so it's like any apprehension I would have felt is like, and then now I'm grown, so it's like.
You don't think your fan base is gonna be like?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Because I don't like being an actor. I've realized it's not my job to control how the audience interprets it, because then we'll be taking away their gift that they have watching a movie, which is choice. You choose if you like it. You choose what you like. And I don't want to take that away. I just want to. I want to give you a canvas and an art piece of what I thought about the character, about the project, and however you feel about it is how you feel. I did my best, is what I know. Shoot, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.